You'll never believe it. I was behind a Lowe's home improvement store when inside of a dumpster, I found a trash-looking juniper tree. Alright, it's more like a bush. Right now, you may be saying, that is an ugly plant, but let me tell you, I have an idea to try to save this plant and turn it into a bonsai tree. Once I got home, wow, it was rougher than I originally thought. Lots of dead, burnt underbrush, twisted limbs. Some of the leaves were even moldy. I had to go pretty hard on this trim job. I got rid of like 2/3 of the foliage on this tree, but if anything, this was just holding the tree down. Because this was definitely a traumatic event, I wanted to give the tree a break, some time to unwind and relax. So I potted it up with some new soil, and I let it rest under the shade of a maple tree. 2 weeks later, the tree was looking so much better. Maybe it's just the lighting, but to me, the leaves were more green, the branches less brittle, more flexible, and this is all super crucial for bonsai. Just 2 weeks ago, this was going to get thrown out to the rats, and now I would kiss this passionately. First thing, I wanted to get a better look at these roots, so I began chopsticking the dirt away like an unlicensed archaeologist. You can see that one of the tree's limbs kind of slopes down and has been buried by a lot of dirt and grew roots of its own. And while I don't think it's necessarily a conventional bonsai design to keep this sort of thing, I'm gonna keep it because number one, I don't want to stress the plant anymore and potentially kill it, and number two, bonsai is about telling a story, and in the case of this ugly duckling, it came from the trash. So I like that it has a sort of trash feature. I ended up using a compressed water teeth cleaning device to shoot away some of the debris around the roots, and it was definitely a tangled mess. I ended up just covering this with dirt, but it was a very fun experience. Now it was time to find a container for my bonsai, and unfortunately, these two ferns would have to sacrifice their home. Truth be told, I had found this lovely couple a month ago while dumpster diving, but due to my dry climate, they need to be misted every day, and I can't be bothered anymore. Drainage is absolutely key for these evergreens, so I made some drainage holes. I started out slow, and then I got impatient and just drilled as fast as I could. I fed some copper wires through the bottom of the plant, crisscrossed them, and this is what I would use to hold the tree in position. Focusing back to the plant, it was time to get rid of every dead leaf on this thing, which meant starting at the trunk, following every limb till its end, and with a pair of scissors cutting off anything that was brown or yellow. This was my first time using copper wire. I probably went a little bit overboard, but it was a good learning experience. Wrapping some of these smaller limbs in copper will allow me to contort the branches so I can shape them into looking more like a big, fully grown tree. After all this, I did notice that one of the branches, just aesthetically, I didn't like where it came off the trunk or how it looked at the top of the canopy, so I ended up giving that a snip. Now I had the job of somehow fitting this large plant into the pot. Now normally you only want to trim about 1/3 of the roots of a plant to ensure that it doesn't die, but I had to cut off at least half of the roots in order for it to fit in the pot. I now had the most difficult task of deciding which side of the tree was the front or the intended viewing point. I played around with some different angles, but I just psyched myself out. This was too much immense pressure. I was taking this way too seriously. I got some soil down underneath, twisted the copper wires together, cut them off, and then twisted them with some pliers, which then broke, but I just restrung it and I was able to tie down and secure the tree pretty easily. I filled in the rest of the soil and finished the top with some of the soil that the plant originally came with. Now, truth be told, this isn't the best bonsai soil in the world. A lot of bonsai is grown in porous rocks that lets the roots get a lot of airflow as well as really good water drainage. These are really beneficial for the plant, but this type of soil does require that you water and fertilize almost every day so that the plant has the proper nutrients. I didn't have any of these things, so I went with a soil blend that has a lot of organic matter. It probably won't grow as fast, but as long as I don't overwater it, I shouldn't kill it. And we're now down the home stretch, baby. I molded the top limbs with the copper wire to my desired shape. I covered the topsoil with some white rocks. I'm pretty happy with the end result. Compared to how I found this tree looks a lot better. This was definitely an experiment, learned a lot from this project, and I'm excited to find another trash plant to practice bonsai on again. But the last thing I need is a name. I need something that expresses its dumpster origin story. Let me know any suggestions you have, my friends, and thank you for watching.